Hi, my name is Pedro and this is on my function. In this video, I'm going to teach you how to create a dumb automation that I did when I was younger and didn't know that automation is not always the answer. So yeah, let's go for it. So imagine that I'm a junior, right? And a senior goes to my table and says, I need all the US states with a name, category, and the subdivision ISO to name, and I need it for today. It was in the morning, so it was fine. And I thought, yeah, I can do it like in 15 minutes, but why not create a script to automate it? And I'm never gonna have to do it again. And yeah, that's what I did. I'm gonna show you how I did it. So the plan was simple, right? I needed to create a script and get data from Wikipedia, that was my source, and then parse it to a JSON. And yeah, that's exactly what I did. Let's start the project. So yeah, for this one, I'm not going to show you how I created this thing with the test config and etc. I'm going to leave the details on the description below so you can check it out. The only thing you need to know is that I need here to import Puppeteer from Puppeteer. The name is the same, right? Yeah, I always make this mistake. And then I'm gonna need actually something else because I need to write JSON file, right? So for that, I need to import write file from FS. I need to get the source, and the source is, yeah, I'm gonna copy and paste it. I'm gonna use like this. So again, I need to get this selector and then the selector for each row, for each column and each row. But for now, let's write over to this part. I'm gonna have to create a state type. Yeah, so type state is, yeah, equals, it's gonna have the name, that is a string, and then it's gonna have the code, that is a string, and the category, that is a string. I'm gonna have two functions here, and I can explain later why I need these two functions. So the first one is generate, that is simply an async function. And then I'm gonna have the run. The run is very interesting because I can have like multiple attempts of doing something. So let's say that I want like 3 attempts. So const attempts, oh, actually it's let. Okay, I want to change this. So let attempts 3. And then I'm going to have like const run, async. And then if the attempts is equals to 0, then I'm going to return. So it didn't work at all. But if not, I'm going to run it recursively. So I'm going to try, await, generate, and then on the catch here, I don't care about the error, but I can console log it. So console.error, error, and then I'm going to attempts minus equal 1. So attempts, it's equal to attempts minus 1. And then I'm going to run it again. So in the end here, I'm going to run it. And yep, that's the recursive way of generating the file. So you're going to attempt 3 times. If it doesn't work, then it's going to just return and throw the errors. All right, so first things first, I'm going to need to create a browser. Because as you remember, Puppeteer is basically a way of saying to the browser what to do. So you control the browser completely. And this browser is going to be like Chrome. So it's simply like const browser equals to await puppeteer.launch. And then it has some options. For this one, I want to make headless as false, because the headless in this case is by default true, and I want to see it running. Then after that, I'm gonna await page, actually const page equals to await browser dot new page. I'm gonna create a new page with the Puppeteer, and then I'm gonna await page dot go to the source. So I'm gonna ask Puppeteer to go to this source here. That is this screen here. First thing that I need to do is I'm going to make it generate the states inside of here. And to do that, I need to evaluate some code inside of the console. Let's get the selector for the table row. I'm going to copy that, copy selector, and then head over here. And yeah, so I need to generate the states. That is a function that's going to return states as an array, and then it's going to array dot await page dot evaluate, and then I'm going to run this function inside of the browser. Const row selector is equal to this. So this is the row selector. In this case, I don't want just the tr. Actually, I just want the tr. I don't want any particular child, so I want every tr out there. And I'm going to get rows equals to document.get query selector all, and then row selector. Yeah, I made a mistake here, didn't I? So yes, this is it for now. And then I need to generate the data from this row. This item, this row here, is not actually an array. So I need to generate an array from it. So I'm gonna get data is equal to array.from these rows. And it receives two parameters. The first one is where is gonna iterate over, and the second one is the function. So for each rows, I'm gonna have one row, and this row is gonna return something. And then I need a selector for the column. Column selector equals to td. That's quite easy. And then columns, I'm gonna do the same thing that as I did up there. That is row dot query selector all. I'm gonna select all the columns, and then I'm gonna return an array dot from columns, and the second one is for each column. I'm going to return, I can just return it here, a column dot inner HTML, actually is inner text, and then I need to remove the spaces and everything else that is there. And every, there is a symbol here, as I remember. Yeah, there are some symbols out here that I want to remove. So, yeah, to do that, I can basically run a dot replace and be fancy here and create a regex rule. Removing anything. I'm copying this over, just FYI. I don't remember it by hand, so it's like this and that, and here it's everything. And after this one, yeah, I'm gonna just copy and paste this selector. You don't need to remember that. I just got it from Stack Overflow somewhere. So this returns actually the data is a string array of strings, and then yeah, I have the data inside. This is, oh, okay, yeah, I need to close this one. After this data thing here, I need to, if data.length is equals to 0, I'm just gonna return an empty array because I don't have anything. But if data is something, so we're gonna return data.map for each state. That is each row. I'm gonna create something fancy that is an object with code that is state, the first 1, so it's 0, because this is the code that I want here, but I need to remove like everything before these minus. So another fancy kind of regex, but it's just a split. So dot split, and then everything the minus. I'm going to split it into 2 arrays and get the second one. Then the name is basically a state 1, because I have this, right? It's just the name. And then the category is simply state 2, I guess. And yeah, I think that's it. It's saying here that, yeah, it's a state. Yeah, I have this code already then. And all right, I have a way to generate the states, remembering that this runs inside of the browser. So then const states equals to generate states. And I need some filters here. So for each state, it has to have a name, and I'm gonna map it to remove anything that is outside, because I remember that guessing this data here gives you some weird things from this one. So it's not just Arizona sometimes. Sometimes it has like some weird things here, but yeah, I'm gonna trim that out. I'm gonna map it over. This is a workaround, but yeah. I mean, it's not ever that's going to change anyway. So this one is going to return everything about the state, but the name is going to be state.name.trim, and I'm going to trim it out. And after I do that, I can close the browser. I don't need it anymore. So await browser.close. So I close the browser, and then now I need to write the data.json. I have already added this generated data to the git ignore, so it's not gonna go to GitHub or anything. So here I need to await write file, and then I'm gonna write on this data.json, json.stringify, and I'm gonna stringify the states, and not gonna use anything here, and here's 4. And if it fails, if error, throw error. And yeah, that's it. So remembering that this runs inside of the browser, this is going to run 3 times. I don't even need this one to be on headless false. You can just run as it is. Let's see if it works. So it's gonna run, opening up the browser and getting stuff, and generated the data.json with all the files that I need. So every object here that I needed was created, and yeah, it just works. So that's like how long it takes for me to create it here. Of course, when I was like younger, I would take like a lot of time to learn how to generate these things and how to get data from inside of the browser itself. But after you get it, this generation thing of row and column, it's very good to learn, because you can then get any data from any table from Wikipedia. And this attempts thing is very good to learn too, because it can be that someday you need to run a script that has more than one attempt, because this can fail, right? Like the browser can go to Wikipedia, and Wikipedia can like take a lot of time to return the HTML, and it would basically fail because Puppeteer has a timeout. Or it can be that, I don't know, the website was hacked or something, and you can try it like 3 times to see if it fails, and if not, then it runs. And that's it. So if you ask me like today, Pedro, should I do this if I need to automate, or if I need to get data from Wikipedia, I would say probably not. Don't try to automate like small things, just do them. it's going to be easier and faster if you do it, and probably it's going to be harder to change the script than to change the final project itself. So if the states change, in my case, I would need to refactor this generator function, but on the other hand, if it changes, I could just go to the JSON file and change it there. It would be way faster. So don't automate like dumb stuff as I did, but if you do, yeah, help yourself out and yeah, go for it. See you soon. Hope you liked it, and bye-bye.